right. Now we're here with Randy again. Randy, how are you doing today?
Hey, doing just fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Over the last few years, I've seen a lot of drivers and teams do something which a lot of people call start and park. Explain a little bit about what that is and why teams do it.
Well, obviously, it's an economic issue. Teams are set up and defined by virtue of how much money they're able to take in. The cost of running, 500 laps, 400 laps, 500 miles, 400 miles supersedes, how much they can get on their return. So obviously, start and park, and there aren't many of them. There's a couple, less than a handful, that are able to do it at this particular time. And it's been going on for quite some time, a decade for sure, and perhaps we could dig in the record books and we may see other teams that have been doing that for even longer. Bottom line is, they're trying to make it, they're trying to gather some data, and they will race a few races and start and park the rest. So it's basically an economic thing, and we have to look at the sport in a couple of ways. One, it's a business for some, and it's a sport on Sunday, but the rest of it's business. Some of these teams that are trying to start and park, they might have 4 or 5 full-time employees. They may have less, they may have some more, and they try to utilize it. Every lap that you put on that race car, and every set of tires you put on, all the energy that's expended by the engine, and then having to replace the engine or run it again, a week later, you have to freshen it. So the longer you run, the less cost-effective it is for some of these teams. So that's why they end up starting parking.
I'm assuming they obviously don't have as many cars in their race shop, and they probably don't have as big of a race shop, but does that mean, if they wreck in a race, sometimes we don't see them again for a few weeks?
Absolutely true. I mean, Tommy Baldwin, for instance, is not a start and park. He's on a different agenda. He's trying to race, and he does race. I think at one particular time he may have tried to, field 2 or maybe even a third car somewhere, but definitely 2. And sometimes in the early going, 4 or 5 years ago, he had to park a couple of guys. And once again, it becomes economics. But for those teams that are starting parking, their investment comes in. You have to lease engines. That's number one. You have to have enough people to pit the car and to work on the car at the racetrack. Those teams, they don't build cars from scratch. They get cars from other people. They get rolling chassis. So it's not like building a $200,000 race car that you're gonna